Yeah. Y'all know that I was raised by Malcolm X and Sister Soldier. Y'all know that, right?
Yeah, and we like to say belated happy birthday to Malcolm X. You know, his 100th-year birthday just passed 2 or 3 days ago.
Yep, on the 19th. On the 19th.
Yeah.
So what would Malcolm say about Trump's America and the idea of us, Black folks, leaving the United States?
Well, he might say, and I quote, "You're not in America. You're not American. You're a victim of America." Let that sink in.
And my father would say that you are an African living in America. And so you are displaced, right?
So this system wasn't created for us to thrive. And as Malcolm says, we didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us.
Hello.
So we're going to talk about what would Malcolm say on his 100th birthday about the plight of Black American. And should we stay or should we go?
But first, that's the song.
Yeah, no, it's a verse in the song. Should we
stay or should we go? I just want to let you know.
Okay, maybe we should introduce ourselves.
Hey, y'all, my name's Halisi.
And I'm Rick. Welcome to our Black Utopia.
On our channel, we talk about money, travel, and retiring abroad. We help folks who look like us, who are getting close to retirement age, and forgot to plan, get their money straight so that they can retire on time or maybe even early.
Early is a good thing.
Or maybe in abroad.
That's a good thing, too.
All right, sweetheart. So what are we going to talk about today?
Today, we're going to talk about the orange turd and Malcolm X 100th birthday liberation by any means necessary.
I'm just saying.
And you know, today is our Thursday short. Not the other Thursday. This is our Thursday short.
Right. Okay. Right. As opposed to our Legend Thursday. Right.
Legend Thursday. I like that better. So we're going to answer one question from the audience. So today we're talking about, like I said, the orange turd in Malcolm X and his 100th birthday, the liberation by any means necessary.
So today we're going to give you a very brief history, very, very brief history lesson. But what we really want to talk about is how Malcolm X's teachings can inform us today, right? Because we have talked so much about Malcolm X. Well, we haven't talked about Malcolm X, but I have talked about how I was raised by Malcolm X. And so, it is only appropriate that we honor him on his 100th birthday. And even though it was on the 19th and today is the 22nd, we were not live on the 19th. And so we're going to honor him today.
All right. So we know in the beginning, Malcolm X joined the Nation of Islam while serving time in prison in the late 1940s. He was deeply influenced by Elijah Muhammad's teachings, which emphasized
Black self-reliance, the inherent evil of white America, which a lot of people talked a lot of crap about back in the day. But as we look at it today, and he also emphasized the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the separation of Black people from white society, which it seems like they're trying to do today. And he helped grow the nation from a few hundred folks, a few hundred members. It's amazing because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he was very, very wise, even though he was flawed. We're all flawed, right? He was flawed and deeply flawed. But it is amazing that this one man who got out of prison, did not go to college, barely graduated. Did he even graduate from high school?
I don't know. I know he became a hustler.
He was a hustler. Yeah, we know that, right? But he grew the Nation of Islam from a few hundred members to tens of thousands, particularly among urban Black communities, disillusioned with the integrationist promises, which were not panning out. All right. And so, if you are new to our channel, then you might not know what. Back in 2018, Rick and I got a wake up call, y'all. We got a wake up call. We were getting close to retirement age and we forgot to plan.
Mm-hmm. It happens.
It happened. So we looked at our money and it looked crazy. But we got our financial act together and we went from negative 22,000 to over 1.1 million in net worth. And if we can do that, you can do it too, right? And so as Malcolm X says, we need to take the power back. We need to take the power back. Rick and I took the power back. We were on that treadmill. We were on that living check to check. We were in that slave mill, fruit of the slavery tree, doing the Black excellence thing and doing the whole thing, right? We were doing that thing. And we were spending money trying to look good, trying to fit in and doing that respectability politics. And it got us nowhere. Nowhere. So we changed our attitude. We changed our attitude. And this is what we want from you too. Because Malcolm X understood that until we have true self-reliance, and that's not just self-reliance on family, but self-reliance on our community, that we were never going to have true liberation. So the key points during this period were:
he rejected the civil rights movement's push for integration.
He referred to white people as the blue-eyed devils, but y'all know that, and opposed interracial alliances.
He believed in a form of Black nationalism and advocated for separate Black institutions.
All right. So now you know what he stood for back in the day. And that is not to say that he did not come around to saying that that we needed to work together, right? We know that. We know that he traveled and stuff like that, and we're going to get to that. But let's look at what we're looking at today, because what he was talking about in the early days, y'all, it fits to what's going on right now.
Oh yeah.
Right? So the Trump regime's impact. We've been talking about this, but we're going to continue to talk about this, especially because y'all ain't getting it. And when I go on to I can see y'all ain't getting it. So civil rights rollbacks, they have rolled back the Voting Rights Act. We know that has been weakened. What else?
DEI incentives banned or defunded.
Right? We know that those initiatives have been banned or defunded. Black history censored.
And criminalized.
Or criminalized. Yeah. Right? So everything that we have said to you about Malcolm X, has that been scrubbed from the Library of Congress's website?
Which the lady got fired because
she was DEI.
She was DEI and she had inappropriate books that children shouldn't read.
Even though it's not a friggin' lending library. Like, these FOMOs don't even realize that the Library of Congress is not a lending library. And they think there's like a children's section over there with, some pictures of Big Bird and what are the other Muppets or whatever, right? And cereal? Oh my gosh. So what else are they doing?
Surveillance and policing of Black communities.
What do you think Malcolm X would have said about that? Surveillance and policing of Black communities, rise of open white nationalism in politics. Black wealth gap remains unchanged and is worsening.
Mm-hmm. What would Malcolm say? This is not new. It's the mask coming off.
Quote, unquote. This is not new. This is the mask coming off. Y'all. So what did he say about leaving the United States? So
the year that Halisi was born, Malcolm X traveled to Mecca, Egypt, Nigeria, Ghana, Algeria, Guinea, and Ethiopia, amongst other places.
Exactly. Tensions between Malcolm and Elijah Muhammad escalated. Malcolm was frustrated with the nation's lack of political action and Elijah Muhammad's personal scandals. We all know about that. Y'all know Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Dun, 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 dun,
Papa was a
dun,
Rolling Stone.
dun, dun. Okay, I'm sorry.
All right.
So after
Papa was a Rolling
you
Stone.
didn't have to go there. We have to pay
Come on.
royalties.
No, we won't. Go on.
After Malcolm commented publicly on President Kennedy's assassination, calling it the chickens coming home to roost, he was silenced by the nation for 90 days.
Yeah. So in March 1964, Malcolm officially left the Nation of Islam, and he said, "I'm still Muslim, but I no longer subscribe to Elijah Muhammad's teaching." This marked a major beginning of the shift in ideological thinking.
Yeah, because in Mecca, he saw Muslims and all races praying together and eating together, treating each other as equals.
He wrote in a letter, and I quote, "What I have seen and experienced on this pilgrimage has forced me to rearrange much of my thought patterns previously held. I have never before seen sincere and true brotherhood practiced by all colors together, irrespective of their colors." And I wanted to read that as a quote because I truly believe that if we mandated that all American seniors or all American high schoolers must do at least one semester abroad, how much different of a nation we would have, right? I think, the word says our people perish for a lack of vision, right? That's what the word says. But I would add to that, our people perish for a lack of knowledge. And I think some other versions say for a lack of knowledge, right? And if we understand that every human on this planet, that we all belong to one another, then we would not have this strife.
So you might have to help me with this name. So in his travels, he met with Kwame, is it Nkrumah?
Nkrumah.
Nkrumah Jomo Kenyatta.
Yep.
And other post-colonial African leaders.
He saw Black people running nations, commanding armies, leading revolutions, and it radically transformed his vision for Black liberation. He pushed to take the U.S. to the UN for crimes against us.
He began framing the Black American struggles as part of a larger anti-colonial, anti-imperialist movement.
Anti-colonial, anti-imperialist movement, right? And so what he is saying there is that we cannot be free, we cannot have total liberation as long as we are under this imperialistic system. He said, "We are today seeing a global rebellion of the oppressed against the oppressor." He said that back in the 60s, y'all.
Yeah.
And what are we seeing today? What are we seeing today? We are seeing a global rebellion of the oppressed, BRICS, against the oppressors.
Ibrahim Touré. He thought he didn't kick the French out.
Y'all.
Now they got to make up stuff against the Black people in the nation of Africa.
Right, because he didn't believe the American system could be reformed from within. Let's just be honest. Malcolm X did not believe that the American system could be reformed from within. And when we look at what we're going through today, when we look at what Black Americans are going through today in America, in the melon felon Trump's America,
Yeah.
Do we really believe that it can be reformed from within?
And he said, quote, the struggle of the American Negro is not a struggle of civil rights, but a struggle for human rights, unquote.
The struggle for the American Negro, that's us, y'all. It's not the struggle, it's human rights. Human rights. And then he would say, we believe that he would say, you have the right to leave. To leave. You have the right to leave. So what can we do today? I want you to think globally when you think about freedom, all right? Because freedom is not restricted to what is going on in the United States, right? Our freedom as people from the African diaspora should not be contingent upon what white people are doing with white people problems and white people places.
Yeah. You need to research relocation opportunities like Portugal, Ghana, Costa Rica,
right?
etc.
Use financial independence as a tool for liberation. If you need help with that, we have a program for you. It's called Beyond the Bling. That is our financial freedom program for late bloomers. For anybody who's over 40, if you're younger than that, you can take it too. It's all good. We teach financial independence, retire early, the FIRE movement, right, is inculcated into our program.
Yeah. Have the mind to build community abroad, not just escape, but create.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Have in mind to build community abroad, not for an escape, but to create.
Create that community abroad. All right. So we're not just talking about running away, right? We're talking about creating something where other people can come. All right. We hear a lot about, well, all of us can't leave, and we're going to talk about that on Sunday. 90% of Black Americans can't do this and can't do that, and blah, 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 whoop-de-whoop, right? We've heard it. But if there is not someone to lead the way, what are we going to do? So don't ask us to stay in harm's way and not lead the way, right? We've got to lead the way. Malcolm's legacy is not just protest. It's power. It's power, right? And so we need to acknowledge that we know, right, that not everyone can or even should move abroad, but you should have options. And those options come with financial independence. So we honor him by making bold choices for our future, right?
Don't mourn, organize. Don't wait, move.
Don't mourn, organize. Don't wait, move. Join our weekly, so every Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Mountain Time, we go live, right? And we take questions from the audience. Every other Thursday, we have a Thursday short where we answer one question from the audience. If you have a question that you would like us to answer, either about financial independence, life abroad, or travel, send us an email, hello@ourblackutopia.com. For those who are coming to our meetup, y'all check your email. I've been seeing a lot of stuff. Check your email. I've been sending out some emails, so make sure that you check your email because we're going to get together. We've got a WhatsApp group and all that stuff. If you're coming, if you have not bought tickets to our meetup is June 16th and 17th. There's a lot of things going on around those weeks. And so we've got almost 100 people at this point coming to our meetup here in June. And if you are coming during that time, y'all hook up, come to our meetup if you happen to be in Portugal and hang out with us. If you've got more questions, if you got more questions and you are concerned about your ability to be able to maneuver in these uncertain times, we offer one-on-one coaching. That information is in the description below. All right?
Yeah.
And with that, we're going to leave it there. I love me some Malcolm X, y'all. And so we had to do this. We had to do this. On Sunday, we are going to talk about how you can leave when you don't think that you can, when you're looking at your money and it looks crazy. All right. We're going to talk about how you can leave even if your money looks crazy. All right. But for now,
there's always ways to do it.
There's always a way, right? There's always a way. We love you all. And we'll see you on Sunday. Bye.